most small businesses we come across I have problems in all the sort of 4 key areas, which is, first of all, generating traffic to the website. Second, maintaining some interest once they get there and actually providing some content that is both interesting and persuasive and useful to the user. Thirdly, actually getting them that interest to convert into an order. And fourthly, in building a relationship so they'll actually come back. Okay, so let's break that down. First of all, you need some traffic to your site. You need some people visiting your site in the first place. Critical to that is going to be your search engine position. Do you have a strategy? Do you have an understanding of how to get a good position in Google? You need the top 3 pages, because 99% of the results come from the first 3 pages for any particular key phrase, the words you want to be found with. Wider than Google, have you got a strategy to get people to visit your website? Much wider than search, which is what most people obsess about. It's important, but it's not the only way of getting traffic there. There are lots and lots of other techniques and strategies for getting people to visit your website. Are you obsessing with search? Good, you need to be interested in it, but you need to look wider afield than that. Okay, so you've got some traffic now to your site. The next thing you have to do is maintain their interest long enough that they'll stop around a little while, build some trust to the point that they'll be happy to place an order or opt into something, or at least make an inquiry. Where most business websites actually fall down. A lot of small business, medium-sized business websites, most people are leaving before 5 seconds even. The average number of pages that people view is 1 to 2 pages. So on a lot of websites, people aren't even moving off the home page. They've not been convinced that it's the right site for them quick enough. I think gone are the days where people will just accept a really basic website with just a few pages on it, home, product, services, about us, gallery, separate testimonials page and a contact us page. That sort of website really defined kind of Web 1, and it was a basic showcase. People are expecting a dynamic experience now, a website that's much more comprehensive, that's interactive, but above all, it's right up to date, hence the interest in blogging and various technologies like that. So what you need to do is write some articles and write content that, number 1, builds trust, that number 2, helps them actually solve problems, so you're giving them a lot of transparency into the sort of tips and tricks that you have within your business, giving them lots of help, and within that what you need to do is build in some sales messages so that naturally as they read the content it flows into a conclusion where they're going to want to inquire. Okay, so you've got some traffic to your website, first problem solved. You've now got some article content which is interesting, so the site's sticky, people are stopping around a little while and building some trust with you. Great, that's the second problem solved. Third problem you now face is actually getting an inquiry. The third thing that you now need your website to do is to actually convert people. And what we mean by that convert is, number 1, buy things if that's possible, so through shopping cart technology. Number 2, you need them to opt into things. So you need them to, let's say, join an email newsletter. One of the principal things that most e-commerce businesses are doing now are they're desperate to actually collect your details, get you to opt into things, and then they can steadily market to you, understanding your interests over a period of time, and in a way got you as a sort of captive audience. So you need to achieve those 2 things. Even if you're not selling online, you need to achieve the opt-ins. That email-based marketing is one of the sort of principal areas that most businesses are now trying to grow. Okay, problem 4 then is build a sense of community and a sense of shared ownership with your brand. One of the things that defines Web 2, and I recommend that you, if nothing else, Google Web 2 and really understand what it means, is it defines the second era, this second generation of growth that we're now seeing on the web, where people are now starting to use it in different ways, hence the huge growth in Facebooks and communities and things like that. So it's about, number 1, understanding your customers really well, holding them very closely, giving them lots of transparency into how your business works and what you're trying to do for them, but above all building a sense of community around your brand. If you can face that challenge, you're probably in a very good position to be able to actually move forward online and really sort of take part in this second Web 2 generation of growth. Okay, so if you could quickly grab a great understanding of where the web's going, of the more strategic elements of it, you can start to see the web perhaps as a little bit less of a threat, less alien, less techy than it's perhaps looked in the past, and you can actually start to respond first of all to the changes that are coming and actually preempt things that are happening in your industry, find new markets, watch the trends as markets and customers change and be able to really respond and give them what they really need, position your business well at the front of these changes. But much more than that, if you've got a set of tips and tricks and techniques and a toolkit in effect of methods, so you actually, as well as understanding search, you actually have a practical way of getting websites consistently up to the top of Google and the other search engines. If you've got all these things, you've really got everything that you need to move the business forward and take advantage of the web and this big generation of growth we're now seeing now. A lot of people are saying if there's a time to be on the web, if there's a time to be working on the web, it's now. It's not 10 years ago when it came to the UK. It was really in its infancy then. Web 2 and this next generation of growth is going to be absolutely huge. Are we heading towards things like Second Life and virtual communities? We probably are. This at least sends you off in the right direction of understanding the practicalities of where we are now, but also having a sense of where we're going to be in the future. Okay, what people should do next? Well, they should have a look at all the PDFs for the courses to make sure that they really understand what the courses are about. They can give us a ring, talk to the actual trainers themselves, so really get it from the horse's mouth about what each individual course is about. They can book straight online if they're happy to do that. Or what we can try and do, and we love to do, is to get out and visit a lot of businesses. So if we can work it in, we'd be happy to get out and visit the business and talk about the business benefits and actually have a look at how this is going to work for their business.